Hello. This is a video I'm making going over everything I read for January and everything I hope I finish in February. This is a way for me to try to finish those books that I want to finish for February and talk about what I've read. This is a good way to keep me from not chickening out of not finishing this stuff. For example, I finished Volume 4 of TMNT. Was not that impressed with it. I did a full video talking about it if you want a more in-depth look at it. I finished the 12th book in the Wheel of Time. I absolutely loved this book. I think it's my favorite in the series so far. It is so well written. It is the first book by Brandon Sanderson in this series. It feels like Brandon Sanderson did some things different, but kept the spirit of Robert Jordan in there as well. You got some amazing character moments. You got some great developments. You got all this good stuff, but it takes a while to get there. I would recommend this, but you would have to read through all the other books in the series, and it takes a while to get to this. Honestly, highly recommend. I'm going to do a video when I finish the whole entire series talking about the Wheel of Time in a big video. I read some H.P. Lovecraft, Shadow over Innsmouth, with this collection. There's some other stuff I haven't read, but I really enjoyed that story. I really did. It was well written. It was well made. I have some complaints, like he doesn't have really the best pacing. It felt kind of paced weirdly. I also read Jurassic Park. I reread Jurassic Park. It's been a few years. Last time I read this, I was in high school. Reread it. Amazing book. Loved every second of it. I think I preferred it over the movie. I should rewatch the movie and compare the two. I finally got around to digging more into Conan, classic Conan by Robert E. Howard, which I loved this collection. I finally read Tower of the Elephant. I read a bunch of other stuff in there. I am so happy I read this, and I'm looking forward to diving into more of Howard's Conan short stories. And this is what I'm planning to read for the month of February. I'm planning to finish the 13th book in the Wheel of Time. I hope I finish it by then. I'm listening to it on Audible. I'm on like the 4th chapter, making my way through it. I hope I finish it, and I hope I really enjoy it. I hope it's better than book 12. I hope it's better than that, which is living up to a high expectation. I'm gonna read an indie comic I got my hands on, Preacher. I watched the first episode of the TV show on Netflix, and I was like, God, I gotta read this. I've heard this is Garth Ennis's best work. I've watched the TV show for The Boys. I couldn't get into The Boys comic. It just felt very mean-spirited towards superhero media in general, and it just didn't feel like it had anything to really say. While the TV show for The Boys, I feel like, did the exact opposite. It had something to say, and it says it well. Next, I want to continue reading the original X-Men stuff. I finished the Stan Lee stuff. This is the Roy Thomas stuff. I need to sit down and read this. This is definitely something I want to sink my teeth into. Next, the Fantastic Four Marvel Mighty Masterworks. With the movie coming out, I think sometime this year, I want to dig into the Fantastic Four. I want to learn more about these characters. I want to jump onto that. I want to see if it's worth the hype. And then, finally, I want to finish this sucker. I want to finish The New Teen Titans by Mark Wolfman and George Perez. I am on issue 5 or 6. Yeah, I think it's 6. I'm enjoying this. I'm making my way through it. I am loving it. And this is probably what I'm going to finish first in February. I'm looking forward to diving into that and finishing it. So this pile here is everything I want to read for February. And this is everything I read for January. There's one thing I didn't put in there. I've finished the first set of the Elric books from Eternal Champion. I really enjoyed those. I'm looking forward to it. It's nice to have a break from happier, less pleasant fantasy and to dive into something more grimdark. But that's what I read.